All right, this is Drew and Kelsey returning to the Drew and Me podcast. This is part two. We're just talking about Twelfth Night and it being a really good Shakespeare play. In the Shakespeare class I took in college, did you have any classes with Corey Ronsky?
Mm-mm, I did not.
Okay, she was a great English teacher who did some stage stuff too. She did like the Shakespeare, she did the Chaucer, like the like really old kind of stuff, and she did a really good job. So I think it's what she studied in grad school. So and she went to Cornell and she's like this really cool teacher who's from Cornell.
Yeah, I think I had heard about her because I wasn't an English major. I was a communication major and then with that journalism minor. So I didn't have like all the English professors. Yeah, it was mostly just journalism focused stuff if I had an English class.
Cool. The journalism, like you definitely chose that career path, so I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I
Do you
enhanced
have
it too
any
when I went to
classes?
Maryland.
Nice. Do you have any classes with like Jonathan Slade or
No, I did not. But I mean, I was in the communication building all the time, so I ran into him sometimes.
cool? Um, yeah, friend told me uh Professor Vance was a really good communications professor.
Oh yeah, she was great.
Nice. Um, yeah. Um, let's see. So, Laramie Project, Schoolhouse Rock, um, and Twelfth Night. Um, those are some good choices. Yeah. So in the Corey Ronsky class, I think Twelfth Night was the first play we read. We did Twelfth Night and we did Winter's Tale, and she said that she thought Romeo and Juliet was too generic, so that's why we did Twelfth Night first.
I mean, well, that's fair. I read Romeo and Juliet in ninth grade,
Okay.
so yeah. And then I've read Hamlet. Um, there was another one,
Hamlet's great. I really like
Macbeth.
Hamlet.
I read Macbeth. I might
Nice.
have copies of those. Um, I don't know why. Like English really was never like my best subject, honestly, in high school. Just the whole, I don't know. Even though like I mean, I went into a field that involves English and writing and stuff, um, but yeah, like the whole interpretation in English classes and stuff, that's where I struggle a lot. Um,
Mm,
like, what did they mean? I don't know. Why don't you go ask them?
yeah. If it's like metaphor or simile, or if this is symbolic of this, like, can you identify this? Yeah, I took English classes in college and like all about like what does it actually mean? Like, what does this stand for? And sometimes if you ask the author, like, it depends on the day. Like, they'll say it represented this, and then on another day they'll be like, that was because of my daughter or something like that. So it represented that. Um,
Yeah, maybe I just didn't back up my claims enough. I don't know, but it was never my favorite thing to do.
yeah. Um, Journalism is like it's more factual. It's kind of more matter of fact. um than
Yeah,
English, which is kind of more interpretive. Um
yeah. In a way, though, we do kind of have to interpret the facts and present it, well, in a way that anybody can understand. Anyone from like, well, I don't know how many kids are watching the news these days, but pretty much like probably late elementary school on, like that's who we need to interpret for.
yeah, I know newspapers are written for like age 10. Like they're written for like a fourth grade reading level.
Something like that, yeah. And then because I did print for a little bit before going to grad school.
Oh,
Um,
great.
yeah. Um, so I kind of know both sides of it because now with like the broadcast side, it's writing, but you have to be like even more concise in broadcast writing. Um, and but you also get to get creative and with both the video and the writing. So there's it kind of combines everything, which I really like.
Nice. Yeah, like with like copy, there's like a very specific style and it has to be kind of concise and like deliver all the points and it's written for like a very the amount of times preset. So, um yeah, I think you're in a really cool medium and that it like changes all the time. So that's really cool.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it definitely changes for sure. But I enjoy it, and I mean, I've done the news side of broadcast, and now doing the sports side. They definitely overlap in some ways.
Okay.
Um, so it's I mean, and I'm still learning. I'm in my third year in the business, so.
Okay. Um, so for grad school, did you do broadcast journalism?
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And pandemic hit right in the middle, and still somehow got through it, and here I am.
That's so cool. Uh, did you ever do the TV production classes in college at McDaniel? No?
No, I did
Okay.
not. I kind of wish I would have. Um, because like I think I originally wanted to do like a cinema minor along with my
Oh,
journalism minor,
cool.
but
Nice.
I thought it would end up being too much, so I just did the journalism minor. Um,
Mm,
I mean, and but everything works out. Everything eventually worked out, so
okay.
I I can't complain.
Yeah. Yeah, like you learn some things in college and you know, I feel like learning is very vast and when you get into like there's always like more to learn. There's always like you can always continue your education and things like that. Yeah, I've gone to grad school twice and I'm gonna go a third time. Yeah, I
Ooh,
got halfway through a library degree and then I did part of an early education degree, and that was actually really fun. I really like that. But now I'm gonna go into pre-law.
oh,
So I'm
hey, there you
doing
go.
yeah, since I feel like law is a good field, and it's like journalism, it's a lot of facts, and um, it's like set codes. It's it's really kind of like the foundation is really kind of laid in like case numbers and policy and things like that. So Yeah, that should be fun. So yeah, that program's that starts in August, so that should be
Nice.
fun.
Love that. Excellent. Oh, I'm rolling away. Oh, all right, we're good.
Um, yeah, so yeah, I know that you said you've like watched like a lot of plays in the past. Are there any plays in the future that are coming out that you're excited about or anything?
Um, I don't know, honestly. I'm more excited about like some movies that are coming out. Like I'm interested because so I've never seen Wicked, but I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I'm really interested to see the movie adaptation of it.
Okay. I had the book and I started reading the book because it was a book before it was a play. And
Mm.
then they adapted the play from the book. Um like reading the book is like really dark. So
But
and it's kind of hard to read, but it's really like high concept and it's really like huge ideas and things like that. So I would definitely recommend the book. It might be easier to read the play. Like I know that I think the play is available online, so you can probably read the play online for free if you're interested.
oh, that's good to know. Yeah, like the only musical I've seen like on Broadway was The Little Mermaid.
Oh,
Um,
great.
that was super cool, but what what was it that I watched like a couple months ago? I watched Les Mis for the first time, like the movie
Oh, I
version of
love Les Mis. Oh, I love it.
this time, and I was like, oh wow.
It's so good. I love Les Mis so much. Like in Les Mis, I like every character. Like all the characters are great. Like love Jean Valjean, love like the master of the house guy. Like it's all really good.
Yeah, I was impressed. I'd heard really good things, and I was finally like, you know what? I need to buckle down and watch it. And
Nice. Um, yeah, I was in middle school and we went to a high school play of it, and that was really cool. I think it's too adult for middle school, but
a little bit.
yeah. Um, I guess like they wanted to take us to a play, and that was the play they were doing. So
Hmm.
there you go.
Gotta take what you can get. Oh, and of course, I love Hamilton. Like that's fantastic piece of masterpiece.
Yeah. Um, Hamilton's great. Uh, um, like Lin-Manuel Miranda, like one summer he just picked up a copy of the Hamilton book, and he said he just wanted to read about a president, and that's or even though Alexander Hamilton wasn't a president,
A
he
historical.
wanted to read about like a historical figure.
Mhm.
So he like picked up the book, and then he was like, I just want to turn it into a play, and he loves plays. He really like loves the stage.
Yeah, I watched it like three times within the first 2 weeks of it coming out on wherever streaming service it came out on.
Disney Plus, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, watched it quite a bit, but it was just so good. Um, a lot of catchy songs still. Um, but yeah, I think yeah, like but Les Mis was like the most recent like musical slash play or movie adaptation of a musical play, whatever that I've seen.
Nice. That's a really good choice. I feel like, and it's like sophisticated enough that you could watch Les Mis a few times, and
Mhm.
Like it it's like loaded with a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff in it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I wrote down a few plays. Let's see. What I wrote for Les Mis, which is definitely one of my favorites. Cosette is an unlikely hero. Jean Valjean is tremendous protagonist, usually played with a lot of energy and ingenuity in stage and film adaptations. Um, and I also really do like Hamlet, and that's interesting, and that it's really open to interpretation. And I gotta read it again because I really like it.
Yeah, Hamlet's on the list. I mean, like lately for like book wise, I'm definitely more into like autobiographies and memoirs and stuff.
It's
So
great. It's
little,
awesome.
yeah. So Hamlet might be a little while because I still have books on my bookshelf back here that I haven't read yet.
Nice. Um, there's a really good biography about George Lucas written by Ryan J. Jones that came out a few years ago. It's real it's really good. I highly recommend it.
All right, good deal. Yeah, which one did I? I read Alex Trebek's
Oh,
memoir,
great.
and
It's awesome.
it was a really good read.
Nice. I'd imagine it's really interesting, and I imagine like Canadian TV is probably really different from US TV. So
Yeah, I mean, it was really like it was really concise. Like it was a really quick
okay,
read, but I finished it super quickly just because it was I just got enthralled with it, and it
nice.
like whenever I read memoirs and stuff, it's almost like I can if it's like say it's a TV personality or a sports person or something, I can like read it in their voice almost.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have an idea for like the way they speak, yeah, like all the time when I start like a new novel, I'll look on YouTube to see if the author has any readings or anything on YouTube, or just if they gave an interview, just so you kind of know how the author speaks and to kind of get an idea of like possibly how they would read it.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. Um, there was a good biography of of Britney Spears that came out last year that
Hmm.
I'm sure is really good. I want to check it out for sure.
All right, that's one to have on the list. There you go.
Nice. Yeah, do you watch Jeopardy?
Well, considering I work evenings, I don't really watch Jeopardy that much anymore, unfortunately. But I mean, but I when I can, I try to sneak it. Or like if I have 2 seconds in like the newsroom and it's on, I'll try and answer a question or something. But yeah, I haven't really sat down and watched a full episode in quite a few years just because of my schedule.
Yeah. Um, yeah, the hosts are good. I think that Ken Jennings is doing a good job. I thought
Love Ken Jennings.
when Rogers hosted, I thought he did a good job too. I really like Aaron Rodgers. I thought he was a good host. And uh, remind B. Alk was a really good. I thought she was the closest to Trebek actually.
All right. Yeah, I know. I heard that she's not doing it anymore, but I've been a Ken Jennings fan ever since he was on Jeopardy because he was on Jeopardy when I was probably 10 years old. And I was watching every single night for all 70 some,
He was
whatever.
great. Yeah, he was
Oh my
really
God,
good.
so good. And then I remember when he lost, I cried. Literally, I legitimately cried. And I called my grandma because my grandma was watching it too, and we were both keeping up with it. And I was so upset.
Oh man. Yeah, his let's see. His record I think got broken though
Hmm.
by this guy from Las Vegas.
James, right?
Uh, his first name was James. I can't remember his last name, but yeah, like he did it for a while, and then a person I went to high school with actually um beat him on the show and then took over as champion. So that was actually kind of cool.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Um, yeah, yeah, I went to a pretty like a pretty highly ranked high school. I remember when I was in high school, it was the number one school in Pennsylvania. And then it was like 13th or 14th in the country. So yeah, it was a good school, had some really smart people graduated from it, but part of it was our school could afford like really expensive programs uh like I know we had a TV studio class, we had a ceramics class, and had classes that were like really expensive to do. Um, yeah. Um, yeah, but I feel like they just got to get harder questions on Jeopardy. You know, that's just something they need to do.
Not too hard because I want to be able to play along too.
Okay. Um, so you might know this more than me, but I hear with Jeopardy, they give them like a book of the questions that are on the show, or they give them like a reference. They either give them like packet of questions or they give them the book, and so they can like read the answers before they're on the show.
I've never
But
heard that.
it's more answers that are on, so it's like maybe there's like 1,000 possibilities and there's only like 100 that are on the show or like a thing like that. So it's like a big source material. So if you like read a lot of the book, so if you're like a fast reader, you could do well in Jeopardy.
Interesting. Now I want to get on Jeopardy and see if that's actually a thing.
I've heard a few interpretations of what they do. There was a McDaniel professor that was on Jeopardy.
Hmm.
We're in Upton. He was one of the history teachers.
Yeah, he was one of
It-
he was an assistant track coach when I was there.
oh, nice. That's great because you did track, right?
Just 2 years, yeah.
Cool. Nice. Yeah. Um,
And I took a couple of his classes too. So,
nice. I heard he was a hard teacher.
I mean, he challenges you for sure. Yeah.
Nice. I heard his classes were really good though.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I learned so much, and there's still stuff I reference today that I learned in some of those classes.
That's really cool. Um, yeah, it's awesome. Um, Nice. Let's see. So we can probably wrap up now. Since yeah, we got some favorite songs, we got plays, got to learn about Jeopardy. So
Yeah, that's all you can ask for sometimes.
yeah, let's see. So uh and thank you very much for being on the show, Kelsey. I
Of course,
really
my
appreciate
pleasure.
it. This has been Drew and me with Kelsey Mannix, and thank you very much for watching and listening. Have a good day.